Hey everybody, this is Shawn Powell. I wanted to talk about something real quick. I had actually spent a good deal of the day talking to a guy, Mark Crosby. If you're in Yellow Brick Road or have been in Instant Payday Network or Automated Wealth Network, Traffic Monsoon, Exitus Elite, there's several businesses. We've been connected together. We've been, even though we haven't been partnered together, we've been in all these businesses together, and I give a lot of respect to Mark Crosby. But y'all, I'm going to tell you my little story here in just a second, and I hope that you listen to it and really get something from this, okay? But the whole time we were talking today, I was telling him about different things. Now, Mark is someone who applies a lot of action. Okay, I know he does. You don't get results like he gets. You don't, not without applying action, okay? Same with Steve or Dill. I know he's one that's going to apply action, get a lot of respect from it in the process, right? Well, I'm kind of the same way. I'm one of somebody that's really put the work in and really learned with every step of the way how to form and make things get better and just don't quit, right? Well, here's my little story, y'all. A while back, as a matter of fact, it was July the 13th. I remember this as clear as day. July 13th. We were in a business and there was a leaderboard, and I really wanted to be number one on the leaderboard. Been number two for a little while, up there. I don't think I'd ever been number one at that moment, right? So a guy named Charles Boley was number one on the leaderboard. Well, Charles had been doing online business for a while. He had a lot to do with Mark Crosby, and that's what we talked about today was Charles Boley. Had a lot to do because of his YouTube videos. And, after I watched one or two, I really, honestly, I have not seen many of Charles Boley's videos, but I didn't need to. You know what I'm saying? I took from them what I needed to take from them, because while I was applying action, I was really looking to just take a little nugget here, learn from these things, and then I could look at the big picture and see what Charles Boley was doing that was successful, what was working for him. The man was number one on the leaderboards for a reason, right? I didn't have to watch every video to really kind of grasp what he was about. I understood what he was doing. Listen to this, y'all. He was doing YouTube videos for a while, so he had a nice little reputation, and not only reputation, but a nice residual build of YouTube videos. You know what I'm saying? He knew what he was doing. We were both doing the same business. I was doing Facebook. I had literally learned how I was getting 60 to 100, over 100 leads a day using nothing more than a phone on Facebook, right? And so I was getting pretty good at what I was doing. I was mastering, a way. I'd gotten to a point where I was really at the peak of, I knew what I was doing. I figured out how to make it work, grab people's attention, addressing the issues, getting people to sign up, things like that. Business was really going well. Okay. July the 13th, that morning, I remember I woke up and I hit, getting out to the people. I'd already gotten some members in over the nighttime. Residual build from even Facebook will go over, leads keep coming in all through the night. By lunchtime, from 12 o'clock to lunchtime, y'all, I had gotten 50 leads by lunchtime. And I wanted to really catch Charles Boley. He was up by about 25 signups, somewhere like that. And, I constantly watched up there, and I was getting new members in. But every time I get members in, he matched me. And I was like, wow, look at this, man. What in the world is he doing? I got 50 leads, and I'm no closer than I was this morning. I'm killing it, And so at 1 o'clock that day, I called. We talked a couple times on the phone, me and Charles Boley. And so about 1 o'clock that day, I called him. And I said, man, what are you doing to keep these leads up? Because I could not catch him at that time, right? Come to find out, he'd been in the hospital for almost a whole week. He wasn't even doing anything. What did that teach me, y'all? It taught me, as hard as I was working using Facebook, and I love Facebook, it was my first way, that's the way I got free. But the residual side of it only goes for a couple of days. If I quit, if I posted every day on Facebook, every day, I can get a lot of leads, I know how to do that. But what happens after about 2 or 3 days, maybe 4 days at most, those are quit getting viewed. And then my lead numbers are going to drop off drastically. Okay? But this is a guy who was number one on leaderboards, matching everything I was throwing at it. And I was doing darn good. 50 leads in by lunchtime ain't no joke. I'm going to go ahead and tell you that. Not doing paid advertising, right? And this guy was sitting in a hospital using residual videos from a long time ago that would just keep coming through. It taught me that I needed to learn how to master more than just one way. Now, I actually stayed with Facebook, but that was one of the things that stayed in the back of my mind. So I started watching a couple of his videos to learn a little more about, how he was doing it. And, a lot of the things I do now, I take it as a granted because of what I saw that Charles Bollé did. And one of the things he did, y'all, if you listen to the world of what YouTube tells you to do, your videos are going to last 4 minutes, as quick as you can, because the attention is going to drop. You know what I'm saying? People are not going to listen. They're going to start dropping off. You can watch them. But you know what Charles said? I remember this very well. He said that, my videos are too long. But y'all, you know what? There's going to be somebody who's going to be hanging on wanting to listen to that. And they're going to get something out of what I've got to say because I'm being sincere about it. And that's going to count for something. And that person is the one that needed to hear it. That's the person I want my business. Do you understand what I'm saying? I learned from that. My videos, y'all, if you watch them, good gracious, man, how long are they? 17 minutes, 22 minutes, 32 minutes, 23 minutes, 15 minutes. A lot of these are some pretty long ones. You see, they're no 33 minutes and 45 seconds. These are not 4-minute videos, right? But you know what? It's just like I said. Somebody's going to get the value from you if you're being sincere. And I would much rather just let it go and say what I've got to say than to be worried about in 4 minutes time I need to end this video. You know what I'm saying? And that's something I learned from Charles Bollé. Now, Mark Crosby, he had his own stories as well. Now later on that day, July the 13th, I did wind up bypassing him on the leaderboard. But I worked my tail off that day just to equal what he was doing from residual videos that he had done prior. And, even though I stayed with Facebook for months later before I ever did anything, that one day is the reason when I got in traffic monsoon that I stopped doing Facebook. Not only that, y'all, I want you to listen to this. I wanted to be true to myself. So even though I had a list of about 7,500 to 8,000 people that I had brought through my business in 8 months, leads that came through. So I had a pretty hefty little list in a very short period of time doing Facebook, right? I never contacted them when I got in traffic monsoon. Now, I grant y'all, a lot of y'all, I know you think that's the dumbest thing in the world to have a list and not contact them. I wasn't worried about the list. What I wanted was to learn how to master a new way of getting out. Now, I'm not saying I've ever mastered YouTube. I don't know if anybody's ever done that, to be honest. But the whole point is I wanted to learn to focus it one other direction, something new, the same way I did when I come into Facebook. Don't focus my attention to 10 different things. You know what I'm saying? And I wanted to keep putting these little puzzle pieces right where they're supposed to be, like this picture shows right here. And that's all I did. So I did nothing more than YouTube. Now, what did I learn, y'all? I learned a lot. There's no better way to learn than by you applying action. Period. I don't care. Now, you can get these bits and pieces from me. You hear me say this about and this, that, and stuff like that. But y'all, I'm gonna tell you, if you're not applying action, have you ever heard the Bible referred to? Bible's the book of life. If you don't apply what it's saying, it's a dead belief. It's just a book. The book of life. And if you're not applying it, it's not gonna do you any good. Online business, y'all, or anything probably for that matter, is basically the same way. You know what I'm saying? It's going to require you applying action. Knowledge don't do you any good if you haven't really applied it. You understand what I'm saying? That's really what the grassroots of what knowledge is about, is learning to apply things in your life or apply it in whatever ways. So that's something to think about. But y'all, here's something else too, y'all. I thought about this earlier today. And I know even as competitive as me and Mark Crosby and some of these people at the top of the leaderboards were, and I love a good competition. It comes from me racing as a kid. I was the most artistic out of the whole school. I was the quickest runner in 3 different schools I was in. I had a really competitive, and then I raced motocross on top of that. Y'all had to go to different states to find people quicker than me. That's the honest truth. That's how much I loved it. I'm very competitive, right? Had a lot to do with how I wound up managing a restaurant by the time I was in high school. 17 years old, I was getting out of school so I could manage a restaurant. That was my nature. But even I can acknowledge when you've got someone that's really good at what you're doing or better than you than what you do, don't be intimidated by it, okay? Don't you listen to this. Don't ever be intimidated by someone else that is doing great in the business that you do. Be grateful that they are there. Friend them and watch what they do. Now, I want you to understand this, y'all. Watch what they do. You know what that means to me? I would enjoy talking to them, but to be honest, y'all, whatever way they've gotten to where they're getting successful in the business, they are little crumbs that's left behind. How do I know that? Because he wanted to get seen. They wanted to get seen. He, she, doesn't matter. They wanted to get seen. So there's crumbs all the way down it. Go back and you can watch and learn so much by watching what somebody does. I would honestly say I get more out of watching somebody than I do by listening to necessarily what somebody does. You know what I'm saying? You can learn so much more, in my opinion, okay? You can learn a lot by watching what someone successful does. If someone is better at Facebook than you, YouTube, email marketing, and so on, connect with them and learn from it. Anything else is just pride and possibly a little bit of jealousy as well, and neither will do you and your business any good. Exactly what I'm telling you. You do not have to. No, you can feed someone's ego if you like, or something like that. But y'all, if you know somebody's applying action, it's obvious, y'all. Nothing wrong with friending them and just sitting back and watching a little bit, maybe asking a couple of questions about, But somebody is better, and believe me, y'all, there's always going to be somebody better at YouTube, somebody better at Facebook, somebody better at email marketing. May not be the same person, y'all. Don't be intimidated by them. Appreciate that they're there. Friend them and use it to your benefit. Because, y'all, I would rather that person be there than not, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You can learn a lot by watching somebody else who's been successful by applying action. But I guarantee you one thing, this is a fact. You will not see them get successful without them applying action. That's just a given. It's something that has to happen. Anyhow, y'all, this is a couple of the things I've been posting on my timeline today. Different videos, motivational things, little things like that. Here's my kitty cat right here. I was actually talking about, she'd be surprised how many YouTube videos I do where she's attacking me like that, because it's just me and the kitty cat while my little boy's at school, and she thinks that I'm talking to her. So, of course, she just wants to sit right here and get my attention. Sometimes she's sweet and lets me rub her on her head, but a good deal of the time I'm being attacked when I'm doing that video. So I took a picture of it earlier today. Game plan, y'all. I could talk. I'm gonna do a different video on this. This alone can really help a lot of people leveraging one business to another. That's where 90% of my sales come from right here, y'all. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you. So anyhow, y'all, if you are looking Exitus Elite Power Lead Systems, this is all I do basically for a living. If you need anything, click the link down below. I'd be tickled to help you out. Give me a call if you like. I'm here every day. My phone number's down below, and y'all, go ahead and hit the links, man. This is the link right here. It's going to take you to Exitus Elite. Check it out. Got $200 signups in the last 24 hours. I got 2 more people coming in at the $1,000 level this week. This thing's a beast. 40,000 in 30 days ain't no joke. I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that. Power Lead Systems, y'all. If you're in Exitus Elite or any primary business, and you need to know how to brand yourself like this, or maybe you look in the awesome share code that's going to connect you with awesome people like Mark Crosby, Steve Riddell, people I'm just mentioning. They're in this Facebook group, y'all. If it wasn't for an awesome Facebook group and a funnel that we all use together in a business, I wouldn't have never known much about Charles Bollé, to be honest. You know what I'm saying? You learn a lot by watching the people around you sometimes too. So anyhow, y'all, click the link down below. If you need anything, just let me know. I'd be tickled to help you out. Appreciate it.